Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Shocking news out of New York today, or should I say New Jersey. The Jets fire Robert Saleh after 5 games of the 2024 season, a 2-3 record. Jets GM Woody Johnson confirmed that this morning. He said, quote, "This was not an easy decision, but we are not where we should be given our expectations, and I believe now is the best time for us to move in a different direction." Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich will be taking over as the team's interim coach. Saleh had been with the team for a while now, guys. This was his 4th season. 20-36 as a coach, never more than 7 wins in a season. There were high expectations when he came over from San Francisco. He was a very good defensive coordinator there. People were excited. I remember how excited people were in this area. We're in the heart of Jets and Giants country. We hear like this has been going on all day today. Talk radio has been unbelievable. Jets fans were very pumped up, and now for a while they've wanted him gone. Our friend Andrew, he's been with the show at the beginning. He was always talking about get rid of this guy for years now. Watching the Jets, he said Saleh has been the problem, and the Aaron Rodgers relationship never really seemed where it needed to be. It actually didn't really seem close to that. There's the whole Egypt situation, the cadence talk at the podium recently, that weird hugging conversation, which I think was actually supposed to be positive in their relationship, but there was always kind of strange tension-filled moments going on. It felt like, and the Jets' offense, I mean, it's been horrible. 25th in points scored, 27th in yards gained. Defense has been very good. Saleh is more in line with what the defense is doing, but as head coach, you're overseeing everything. I mean, that's your responsibility. With the Vikings, Kevin O'Connell is responsible for the offense. He says he leaves the defense to Brian Flores, but Kevin O'Connell still assumes the blame when things don't go right because he's the head coach. And Saleh's just never really got this team that close to where they need to be. And Woody Johnson, Jets fans are shocked. Woody Johnson doesn't do things like this. The Jets don't really operate like this. Frankly, I might not even stop here. I'd keep going to Nathaniel Hackett. I don't want to pick on Nathaniel Hackett or anything, but he's in charge of the offense. Like, come on. This unit's been horrible. We've watched them now 5 games, and they've looked okay in one. They've looked good in the win against the Patriots, and they've been flat out bad in 3 other games. I mean, if you watch the Broncos game, come on, 10-9 Broncos, really? I know the defense is flying around, but 9 points. The Vikings game, again, they had a couple drives there. I know Rodgers was banged up, but the entire first half, inept. San Francisco, look what teams are doing to the 49ers right now. They're 2-3. They ran all over the Jets. I mean, that was a defense issue there in that game. Offense looked bad too. This is supposed to be the year. This is supposed to be the year that Jets fans have been waiting for forever, and they're not where they need to be. That was the key word that Woody Johnson said. We are not where we should be given our expectations. This is supposed to be the year for Jets fans, and with Aaron Rodgers right now, you have this little window. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2 years, and they're blowing it. They look like they might not even make the playoffs. So that's why, if I'm running the Jets here, I love the move. You have to make this move because you're not going anywhere with Saleh. Everyone knew it. The NFL is a very week-to-week sport too. We say that all the time on the show. So I know Jets fans today, it's kind of doom and gloom, maybe with a little optimism because you're thinking, okay, like we moved on from a guy that we think might have been a big part of the problem. But at the same time, now we have a new coach, an interim coach. We haven't looked good to begin with. What's the reason for optimism? But yeah, this league changes week by week. Look who you're playing on Monday night, the Buffalo Bills. The past 2 years, the Bills are a prime example of that. Looked unstoppable this year and last year, the first few games. And then they kind of came back down to earth. And I mean, last year they had the surge to the playoffs. Buffalo's been a better representation of how things can change immediately in the NFL. So I'm not ruling the Jets out by any means. I do think that today's actually probably more optimistic. But you got Buffalo on Monday night now. Go make a statement win. The Dolphins stink. The Patriots stink. The Bills really have Josh Allen. And what else are you looking at? Like this AFC East is wide open. Wide open. It's a 2-team race. And if you can't catch Buffalo in a year where they have Superman and no one else, I think he's actually a little banged up. I don't know the injury report right now, but again, that head injury that Allen sustained at the end of the Texans game when he just came right back in the game. That was a little bizarre to me. But you have an opportunity here to right the ship. And it's been a disaster for years. I mean, it's been horrible basically my entire life. You had a couple Rex Ryan, Mark Sanchez years where, the defense was amazing back then, but defense is amazing now. And now you have Aaron Rodgers. Like go after it. We just talked yesterday on the prediction show. The AFC is the Chiefs, the Texans, the Ravens, and maybe the Bills. And after that, take your pick. I mean, anyone could get in. The Broncos are a playoff team right now. The Steelers are the 5 seed, and we all see what they look like. So, it is funny. The Jets are just the 8 seed. But yeah, this is what I'm just going to keep going back to is that this is supposed to be the year. And if you didn't think Robert Saleh could get this team where they needed to go, if your answer was no to that question, could they improve? You had to make this move. I'm sorry, you just had to. No matter how nice of a guy you think he is, if you don't think the offense is going to get better with the direction it's heading, you have to make a move because this is the window. This is the chance. Go get Davante Adams. If that's what it takes, you have to get him. Like, who cares if you swing and miss? You're the New York Jets. We're talking about the Jets winning a Super Bowl. I don't even want to go to winning a Super Bowl right now. How about we first just make the playoffs? But if the expectation is to win a Super Bowl, which Woody Johnson made clear that was the expectation going into this offseason, go for it. Go get Davante. I mean, they won't fire Hackett again because Rodgers runs the team, but go for it. You're the Jets. What's the worst that happens? You strike out swinging. It's embarrassing. That's what your franchise always is. And that's why I commend them for today. They made a move that's not like the Jets. That had to be done because they weren't going to go anywhere under the current leadership. It's a little harsh, and I do feel bad because I always liked Robert Saleh too. I think it was Hoboken or I can't remember where it was around here, but just like a local pizza joint he used to go into. Super nice guy. People said he was just always smile on his face, treat everyone kindly. So I do feel bad for Robert because by all accounts seems like a good dude, and he'll be fine. Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh isn't hurting for money or anything, but in all things, it sucks to get fired and be told you're not good enough. So I'm sure he's still a younger guy or younger-ish in his 40s. He'll be fine. But yeah, I like the move for the Jets, and just go for it. Whatever it takes. If it's embarrassing and you flame out, that's kind of what you kind of have been embarrassing for a long time. So go for the win. And I'm not ruling them out. Again, I'm not ruling them out at all. They're a few moves away and a few things being figured out away, mostly Aaron Rodgers related, from being what I expect to be a very good team contending for an open AFC, at least like an open AFC divisional playoff berth. From then it gets hard when you have the big teams like the Chiefs and the Ravens that you're going to have to compete with. I'd love to see Davante Adams there, though. I really would. I don't think you're gonna get much from that receiving group if it's just Garrett Wilson. Mike Williams looks slow, looks banged up. Allen Lazard seems to be the most trusted guy, even though he can't really seem to catch a pass. like at somewhere along the lines, somewhere along the lines, the Jets need someone else, and who literally, if you could ask Aaron Rodgers, anyone in the world he'd want to throw the football to, is Davante Adams, and that guy's available right now. So it is risky, but to do great things, sometimes you have to take a risk. And when the Jets are trying to do great things, you're probably for sure have to take a risk. So, all right. That's it for a quick reaction to Robert Saleh getting fired by the Jets. Ulbrich taking over as interim coach, and we'll see what happens from here. NFL is always changing, always big news. See you next time.